Shekinah from Bangalore, Vishwanpur Church. She is the daughter of David Pastor and Mahalakshmi's sister. She's eldest daughter. She's studying in 10th standard, and she has a zeal to do God's work, and she's involved in all the activities in church activities, and especially Vesper. She takes care, and she's humble and very friendly and smiling child. Whenever I met her, she'll show a beautiful smile that admires me. I thanks Lord for that opportunity. I can call her, and then when I asked her, she was ready to give the message today. Happy and happy preparation day, Shekinah. The time is yours. God bless you. Shekinah.
Thank you for the introduction. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And thank you for the prayers and the introduction that you gave. I praise God for that. Uh, I'm trying to share the screen. Yeah. I hope everybody can see my screen.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
ma'am.
Yeah. So good morning, everyone, and a very blessed good morning. So for today's topic, I chose living the story. So uh, so I'm especially going to talk about the Daniel story, and then later we are going to study how the story can be implemented in our lives. So, uh, this story we have been hearing from our childhood, right? It has been my bedtime story, and I have learned it in my Sabbath schools from kindergarten. So, this story is very well known to everyone. And so let's turn our Bibles to Daniel 3:17. It says, "If it be so, our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king." So these words were told by Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego when they were asked to worship the statue that Nebuchadnezzar built. And as we all know the story, that they refused to worship the statue and they stood for God, uh, not minding that their lives are in danger. This is the faith and the bravery that God shows through the story. So we all know that how God saved them, and we also see that their faith is that even if God does not come to save us, so we should also have that kind of faith when we walk, and when we have tribulation. It should be not, it should not be like that God is going to walk with me, or you should not show that you should make sure to show that even if God is not with me, I can walk. That is the faith that we should show. And even we can see in the story that God himself came here. We have seen many of the stories in the Bible where God saved people in different ways. But this is one of the story which shows God Himself coming and saving them. So if God Himself is coming, then how much importance or how much faith did Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego show that God saw that they are good, and He came from heaven to save them. That's really amazing, right? Yeah. If we stand for God in a right way, then He will surely come and save us. And so, this story, which now I told you, had told by Hiroko Funako, who was in Japan, to her kindergarten students in Japan one Sabbath morning. And as she was telling the story to them, a small boy asked, "Really? Can we believe this story? It can happen in real life." And I still do not believe the story. And then the teacher paused herself. A small voice from behind told, "Yes, I do believe." It was a small girl who was there in that Sabbath school. She told that, "Yes, I do believe, because my grandma tells me a story that they survived a big bomb blast that and God saved all the Seventh-day Adventists there." Is it wonderful? This made Hera, this made the teacher think. Then she understood that even she had not believed the story in real life, but she had taken the story just like how she takes other stories, like a fairy tale, but never applied it in her life. She was a news collector, or she used to be in her work is to collect all the news, and she used to be a news collector. So this made her think, uh, why cannot I go and interview all the Seventh-day Adventists who were there in the bomb blast, which, as we all know, Hiroshima and Nagasaki was affected by a bomb blast. Uh, a bomb blast in 6th August 1945 in the Second World War. This uh, bomb was released by America. The name of the rocket was Enola Gay, and the bomb which was loaded was the Little Boy. So this flew across the Pacific Ocean, and and had fell on the Hiroshima. So, as we all know, it is one of the biggest disastrous war and atomic bomb that was ever put to a city, and still it records as the uh, biggest disaster that happened. So the tail gunner who was releasing the bomb on the city, and who saw it from his uh, mean position, he tells that it was a peep into hell. His name is Bob Caron, and so what happened was, in the morning at 8:15, the bomb was targeted to this bridge, which is called the T Bridge. It was targeted, and the bomb was about the bomb fell on the bridge, 20 meters. It took 40 seconds to fall on the bridge, and it drifted 20 meter away from the bridge, and it fell. And as it fell, there was a huge impact in Hiroshima, as 2,000 feet high a mushroom cloud appeared. It was hotter than the surface of the star, and it affected many people there, from the young people to the old ones, from the newborn babies to the uh, adults. Everybody were affected. Many died. More than 5,000 people died there, and still now Hiroshima is still suffering with the radioactive defects that was carried from their parents and grandparents. The strategy shows that still now that all the people that were alive in the Hiroshima Nagasaki bombing are and their grandchildren and children all are affected. So, and after this bombing happened, there was a thick thick rain, which was which was thicker than the tar itself. It was nothing but the radioactive elements, ash, and all the dust particles uh, which happened because of the atomic bomb that was released. Because of the rain, which fell on the skin, the hair, and the atmosphere of Hiroshima and the people of Hiroshima, still now they do face these problems of their grandchildren's and their children's. So this was not a effect that only took place at that time, but still now continues. So with this, we can know that it was so bad. So now let us see if there was any Seventh Adventist churches in Hiroshima. What happened to the church members there? What happened to the place where they stayed? Or just like the little girl said in the Sabbath school, did it really happen? And the news reporter, what did she find? So let's see. There was an SDA church in Motomachi, in the street of Motomachi in Hiroshima, which is which was dedicated and built by Tata Suguchi, who was a doctor there. He gave his own fund and he raised a church in Hiroshima. And he is still now told as the Seventh day Adventist medical missionary pioneer. And if you have time, please do go check an Adventist website about his story. It is good. So I'm not going to go deep into his story, but he was the main cause of the gospel spread in Japan, in Hiroshima. So Anne Andrews, who uh, who is an historic historian who knew about those things in that time, wrote that the beautiful church was built by Tataguchi, and all the funds were raised by him, and he had a small clinic next to it, and he did ministry to that clinic. So this is the Seventh Day Adventist church that was there, uh, but as our Seventh day Adventists believe that there is going to be a higher authority, God, who is going to come to earth and establish his kingdom on earth, and all the earthly authority will fail and will be destroyed. This made the Japanese government very angry and suspicious because as the war happened, before the war, they as Seventh Day Adventist Church was demolished because of their belief. The people in the time of the demolishment, there were more than 70 to 80 members in the church. So they saw their church crumble down. They saw their hymnals and Bibles taken away, and it was led by their own elder of the church, which made them feel so bad. And the history also tells that because of the church got demolished, many Seventh Day Adventists had left Hiroshima, and because they had left and they had gone to their relatives and their hometowns. Many were not affected in that bombing, and the church, they didn't know the time what happened when the church fell, but God made them realize after what happened, after the bomb blast. So it is still told that 20 of 7 20 of Seventh-day Adventists still existed in the Hiroshima when the bomb fell on Hiroshima. Uh, Kanai was one of the Seventh-day Adventists who had been in a home. The morning where the American rockets flew across Hiroshima, at 7, the alarm was given and everybody went to refuge. And at morning 8, it was told as all clear, and they came back to their daily routine or daily life, and they started the day. Nobody knew what was coming. At 8:15, the bomb fell on Hiroshima, and here Hiroko Konai was in her house doing her normal work. When she heard the wind blowing so fast, she knew something happened. She fell on her knees and she started praying. The house around her collapsed. Many glasses flew across her, but she only saw that she did not care about her surrounding. The temperature rose. The whole it of course it would have been so noisy, right? She did not care about it. She fell on her knees and started praying. And after some time, when she saw out of her window, she was unharmed, and outside everything is collapsed. There is the beautiful city of Hiroshima was no longer existing. And it is told that she was lesser than a kilometer away from the main place of the T bridge where the bombing was done. And Iwo Kuwanmutte was also in her house with her husband when this bombing happened. The house collapsed, and her husband was trapped inside the collapsed house. She ran to her husband and told, as the fire advanced all around them, she told, "Let's die here and please do accept God." As her husband was a non believer of God, a husband tells her, "Please do go find the children. I do believe in God. I'm sorry that I did not accept the salvation when you and mommy had told me." So it is also told that here his wife and his mother and his children were Seventh-day Adventist. So when she tells it, he tells he accepts salvation, and he tells her to go find their children. In her own words, she tells that as she looked above the sky was darkened with thick black clouds, which was the mushroom clouds. She tells, and then she cries and she goes to a place where there is water. She pours water on herself and walks through the fire to go find her children, and she rescues them. One more reminder was that place was hotter than the surface of a star. So it could burn the concrete and boil the concrete. So it was so hot, but God helped her to walk through the fire. Yeah, even in Daniel 3, when Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were thrown in the fire, God had saved God had saved them, but the people who threw them inside in the 7 times hotter fire, they were burnt, but not Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. That is the God we serve. Uh, if God can make her walk through the fire, yes, God can make us walk through our fires. It is then when she was interviewed, she told that her children, her mother, and her were still alive, were unharmed by those radioactive elements. We also see Tomiko Karhar was also one of the Seventh-day Adventist member who had gone for a night duty as she was a doctor, and she had come at morning 2 o'clock and she didn't know what was happening and she was sleeping. And around her everything collapsed. She woke up and saw that she was unharmed and everything around her was collapsed. She knew what she should do. She took a box and she ran towards the nearby hospital at the end of the city, and without eating or without taking rest, 3 to 4 days she served for the dying. Yes, still now she is counted as a big hero in Hiroshima, and she is a Seventh-day Adventist. So, these three stories are being told, but there are many Seventh-day Adventists who were there. B.T. Armstrong, the president or the field president of Hiroshima, tells as the persecution came, the members scattered into the country, and when the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima, as far as we know, not one Seventh-day Adventist loyal to the church lost his life in the disaster. Yes. So, as we know, there was when the church was demolished, even the pastors and the church members were taken into prison. Seventh-day Adventists were persecuted in Japan at that time. But yeah, the time of bombing, uh, because of the persecution, many people left Hiroshima. And the people who were there were 20 members. As much, till the record shows, there are 20 members still in Hiroshima when the bombing was done. And it is told that all 20 members are, were alive after the bombing, unharmed, no inherited they did not have any inherited diseases from uh, to their grandchildren, and they were not even affected by the radioactive elements. Yeah, that is really surprising, right? The girl, the little girl, did tell this true story. uh, we only know the story of these three people, but there were 17 others who served God truly and they were saved. If God can save them from a big atomic bomb, which is still now known as the big disaster in the world, God can save you and me even in our fires. God can make us walk even in our fires. If you can't walk, kneel down, just like the woman who knelt down and prayed when this happened. Yeah, God can make us walk through the fire, or God can make us unharmed when we kneel and pray to Him. When you sleep, God is even guarding you around. So, this is the God we serve, the amazing God who takes care of His children in that time. And the news reporter who had interviewed all of them, she was an she had a broken family with no parents and her husband. She, in her hardest time, God made this story reach her. It was 30 to 40 years later that she went and interviewed them. Now she stands as a strong believer in Seventh-day Adventist, taking out the mission and had taken baptism. Some some has to go through the temptation to stand strong, and some has to see what temptation happened to them and they can stand strong. Yes, God has been leading us. So let's turn our Bibles to uh, Lamentations 3:22 and 23. It says, "It is of the Lord's mercy that we are not consumed, because his compassion fail not. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness." Yes, a God, because of God's mercy, it tells us we can also walk through the fire, kneel in the fire, sleep in the fire when God is with us. He will take care of us and lead us. Yeah, after the story, like when I was reading and seeing these stories, I literally, I was sick and I was so tired that day. But after reading all these stories, like I literally got goosebumps while reading, and uh, this is only the 50% what I shared from what I learned. I would really request the people who are seeing, you can go see, Wikipedia, and many websites of these stories are there. And it also surprised me that most of them were Seventh-day Adventists, and it is really a very good living story that God gave us to show that Bible stories can be lived. And yeah, just like just like just like the little girl who had told the story to her teacher in the kindergarten Sabbath school, uh, just like the little girl, we can believe that those stories can happen in our lives. We still do know many stories from the Bible, but we believe it as an fairy tale, just like how children believe fairy tale. We believe this. Do we really take these stories in our life, and do we really follow it? Yeah. This is one of the big lessons the small girl taught us. So, living the story means, for me, it is something that the Bible should be lived by us. The Bible should be proved that it is right by us, as living as an example, as the story. So, as a conclusion, uh, all the three members were less than a kilometer from the bomb blast, and still God saved them through the fire. So, you and I can believe that God will surely save us from the fire that now we are in. It cannot be a physical fire. It is our mental disturbance, our stress, our work, and many other stuff. God can lead us through the small fires when He could lead them in those big fire. I do believe that God will surely lead me in those fires. Do you believe? I'm sure from this sermon, God will make you believe. Thank you.
Shekinah, could you
Wow,
please close
wow.
us with a prayer? Closing
Sorry?
prayer.
Yeah. Let's pray. Our Father which art in heaven, thank you for this day. Thank you for this time that you have given us to come down to your knees and pray, O Lord. Thank you for the wonderful things that you have taught us. And Lord, please give us the faith, the strength, the bravery that we should have to walk across the fire and Lord, to pray to you first, O Lord. Lord, we give all our lives into your hand. Take it and mold it as your will. And Lord, help us to stand in our fires. Lord, give us the strength, O Lord. I don't know the people who really need this sermon, O Lord. But Lord, if it is thine will, please do take the sermon to them. Please do take give them the courage, the strength, and the blessing that should come from you, O Lord. Thank you once again for this time. Thank you for everything. And Lord, let this sermon reach many. And Lord, please, not me, but your words should be told to them, O Lord. Thank you once again. I pray for everyone here. Please be with them, guard them, and bless them. I ask if you